Hello, Becoming Balanced and Creating Calm Tribe. Christy here. This yoga class is based on overcoming fear. So today we're going to be doing a lot of balancing poses and a lot of forward folds. So with fear, we fear the unknown, and we want to overcome this fear because we can tend to miss out on a lot of opportunities. So while we're doing these balancing poses and forward foldings, we're giving our mind a new perspective and a new way to look at things. Now, one thing I'd like to talk about with balance is that, a lot of people get intimidated by balance. So when we're balancing, the act of balance is actually the movement itself. A lot of people think of balance as perfect stillness, and that's just not the case. Stillness is stillness. Balance is the wavering and the wobbling, the movement that it takes to create that steady state. So with balance, we're actually just creating a smooth, steady place. So trying not to get discouraged by these waverings and wobblings. That's actually a really great sign that your brain is working and you're learning which muscles to fire and which muscles to turn on in order to create that balance. So with balance, we really work a lot of core muscles. So we'll start with that. We'll start with our tune in. So whenever you're ready, you'll find a comfortable seat. Now, also, I will say, and one more thing about balance is that if you need a prop, if you need any kind of chair or an ottoman or using the wall, definitely feel free to support yourself there. I do encourage you to try without these props as well. Maybe if you just have the prop there and just float your fingertips right off of it just for a moment, just to give you that feeling and that sense of balance, allowing yourself to feel those waverings and wobblings. But even if you're using those props, you're still balancing. So no judgment, no competition, just bringing in a real sense of making this your practice today and making this a balancing practice that works well for you. So with that being said, if you would like a prop, go ahead and grab that prop. Maybe you've got a block or a box. Maybe you've got an ottoman or a chair, or maybe you just situate your mat close to the wall. And I will try to reiterate areas where we can use that throughout class today. So whenever you're ready, you're going to find your way to your comfortable seat, and you'll start with your tune in. So close your eyes and breathe your natural breath. You're not making any changes to your breath just yet. You just notice the pace at which it flows. You follow your breath as far as you can. And release any previous happenings of the day. Allow yourself to be in this moment, here and now. If you have a hard time letting go of thoughts, sometimes it helps to count your breath. Count how many seconds you inhale, how many seconds you pause, and how many seconds you exhale. Continue breathing your natural breath. Good. Now you'll start in with that deep core breathing. So as you inhale, you're going to really fill up the belly, expand down, and this is where the pelvic floor opens up. Perineum may touch the mat. And then exhale, everything goes up and in. Inhale, expand. And exhale, everything goes up and in. Really pressing belly button towards your spine. Inhale, expand, open up. And exhale, press all the air you can out. So you're going to continue with this breathing. And anytime you find you're struggling with balance, try to come back to this breathing. This is going to fire those abdomen muscles you need to help you hold your balance, hold that steady, smooth movement. And let's take 3 more of those deep core pelvic floor breaths. Really feel that expansion opening on your inhale. And then exhale everything up and in. One more. Good. And now let's take some gentle neck circles all the way around, about 5 in each direction. So just circling your neck, loosening up the spine. 4 and 5, then reverse your direction. 3, 4, and 5. Good. And now we'll do some spinal rotations. So inhale and spin your chest forward. Then exhale, you almost bring that cat back, kind of a bowed back. And then inhale, open the chest, chest forward. Exhale, round. We'll go for 8 times with these spinal rotations. 6, 7, and 8. Good. Now on your next time forward, you're going to spin the other way. Really open the chest and then round on your way back. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. Moving at a pace that works for you. And 6, 7, good, and 8. Very nice. Then you'll come back to center. Slowly spin yourself back to the center. And now you're going to stretch both legs out long into a V shape. Good. And inhale, reach your arms up, grow tall. Exhale, fold forward. A nice gentle fold. So really keeping the spine and neck long and tall. Toes are flexed up to the ceiling. We just want to slightly warm the hamstrings and the back of the legs for our balances to come. Inhale, lengthen your spine. And now exhale, see if you can bend your elbows and fold just a little bit further forward, still keeping this very gentle. 3 more breaths here. One more. And now you walk your hands back up to center and take your right foot to your left thigh. Then you're going to spin your chest so that your knee is in the center of your chest. Inhale, lengthen up. And exhale, fold forward towards your left ankle, shin, or foot, whatever you can reach. Keeping the spine nice and long once again. Nice gentle folds. Then inhale to lengthen. Then exhale, see if you can fold just a little bit more. And you'll stay here for 3 breaths. Very nice. And now you walk your hands back up to center. Spin back to the center. And now you're going to take your left hand to the inside of your knee. Maybe your knee bends a little bit. So the elbow is going to come down to the mat and your head can rest. We're going for a side bend here. So then you're going to inhale, lift your right arm up and over to frame your ear. So we really want this to be a side bend, not a forward fold. So we're not crunching down. We're really opening up shoulders, opening up chest, nice side bend. If you can and it feels good, feel free to straighten that knee slightly, but just taking it as far as comfortable. 2 more breaths. Good. Now you'll come back to center and you're going to switch your legs. So your right leg comes out to that V shape, left foot to your thigh. Then spin your body so that your knee is now in the center of your chest. And you're going to inhale, arms up, lengthen, and exhale, fold forward. Again, reaching for your shin, your ankle, or your foot with that long spine, long neck. 2 more breaths. Now you walk your hands back up to center and spin your body back to center. Then you take that right hand to the inside of your knee with that knee bent slightly, elbow to the ground. Or maybe if you have a block, you can place a block right under your elbow. Head rests, and then your left arm up and over for that side bend. Remember, we're side bending, we're not forward folding. So nice open shoulders, open chest, and breathe. And maybe you can straighten that knee just a little bit if that feels good. Remembering that with yoga, a little discomfort or soreness is kind of a playful area we like to be in, but we don't want to have any pinching or pain. So making this your practice. 1 more breath. Good. Now you come back up to center. You're going to cross your knees and then bring yourself to a tabletop position for some cows and cats. So you'll inhale, drop your belly, lift your head and your tail. Then exhale, round. We'll go for 5 rounds. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Now 2 more at your pace. Your cadence, your breath. Good. Now you take your spine back to that neutral tabletop position. You're going to tuck your toes underneath and lift your hips into downward facing dog. And go ahead and pedal your legs out. Bend and straighten your knees. Good. Now find a little stillness in your downward facing dog. And then you're going to lift your right leg up long behind you. Stay here for one breath. And then I want you to bend your knee and open your hip. So you're opening your hip, but your shoulders stay nice and square to the front of the room. One more breath here. Now stretch your right leg long. Then send your right leg back downward facing dog. Settle yourself in first. Inhale. And then on your exhale, lift your left leg up long. Hold. And now you'll bend your knee and open your hip, keeping shoulders nice and squared, and maybe keeping your gaze back at your left ankle. 2 breaths. Good, and then you'll come back to that long leg and set your left leg down, downward facing dog. Now bend your knees, walk your feet towards your hands for a forward fold. And once you get to your forward fold, grab for opposite elbows and sway for ragdoll. Now the weight should be in the balls of your feet for your forward folds. And it's okay if your knees are slightly bent. One more breath here. And you'll come back to center. Release your grips. Bend your knees and roll up to mountain. Now arms up. You're going to interlace your fingers except the index finger points straight up. Good. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, you'll side bend over to the left. Neck and shoulders are nice and open here, just like our side bend on the ground. Inhale. And exhale. One more breath. Now inhale up to center. And then exhale, side bend to the right. Inhale. And exhale. Nice visible throat. Shoulders are open. One more breath. Then inhale up to center. And now you're going to exhale and fold forward. Now this time on your fold, wrap your arms around the backs of your knees. Bend your knees generously till your chest touches your thighs. And hold here. Again, the weight should be in the balls of your feet. And as you're able, on your inhale, let's think lift your hips. So you're not focusing on what the knees are doing. You're lifting hips. And just coming to that comfortable challenge for you. Inhale, lift the hips. Two more breaths. Good. Now you release your grips, bend your knees and roll up to your mountain pose, arms overhead. And you're going to interlace your fingers, but this time the awkward lace. So the opposite finger that was in front is going to be in front this time. Inhale, reach up, an option to take your right foot back behind your left. Good. You inhale, reach. Then exhale, side bend over to the left side. So with your right leg behind, you are now creating a deeper stretch that goes all the way down the front of the hip flexor. One more breath. Inhale up to center. Uncross your legs. And opposite leg crosses behind. So your left foot now goes behind your right. Inhale, reach up. And exhale, side bend. Now, if that is just too intense or too uncomfortable for you, feel free to just be standing in your mountain pose, side bend, rather than your leg behind. One more breath. Good. Now inhale up to center. Uncross your legs and exhale, forward fold. Just make this one a forward fold for you. So wherever that is, weight is still in the balls of your feet. And maybe get your knees as straight as they can comfortably go. And now this time, I challenge you to inhale, lengthen your spine. And exhale, see if you can fold in a little deeper. And we'll do that one more time. Inhale to lengthen your spine. Exhale, fold in. Good. Now you're going to inhale and halfway lift. Then exhale, fold. Bend your knees. Inhale, rise, mountain pose. Arms up. And palms are facing each other. Then you're going to exhale, sink into your chair, really sending your hips back into space so that your knees are not crossing over your heels. And arms can always come to heart center if arms up is just too much work on your arms. Inhale here. Exhale, fold. Now inhale, halfway lift. And then you're going to exhale and send your right foot back to your high crescent lunge. So you're going to be on the ball of your back foot. Both hips are facing forward. Good. Arms up. High crescent lunge. Now, if you're having trouble with balance here, feel free to drop your back knee down and do this pose from your back knee, okay? So you're going to inhale, reach up, and then arms go back. Good. Inhale here. Now exhale, you're going to wrap and round your spine. Arms cross over. Good. Inhale, open. Nice opening in the chest. Then exhale, wrap and round. Try to cross the opposite arm on top. And a few more times. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. Inhale, open. Exhale, round. And one more time. Good. Now inhale, both arms go up. And then on your exhale, you're going to step your back foot to meet your right, arms down by your sides. Very nice. Now inhale, arms up, palms face. Exhale, sink back into your chair. Inhale and chair. Exhale, fold. Now you'll inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, send your left foot back to your high crescent lunge. And again, if you need to drop that back knee down for balance, feel free. Inhale, reach arms up. And on your exhale, arms go back. Then you're going to inhale, wrap and round. Exhale, open. Inhale, wrap and round. Opposite arm on top. Exhale, open. Inhale, wrap. Exhale, open. And 2 more times on your own. Good. Then inhale, arms up. And on your exhale, you're going to step your back foot to meet your right. Good. Exhale, arms down by your sides. And let's take 2 breaths in mountain pose. Really firm into your feet, firm your legs, your glutes, your core, and your shoulders are rolled down and back for your final breath here. Good. Now inhale, arms up, palms face. And then exhale, send your hips back, chair. Now in your chair, your feet could always be together. They could be hip distance or slightly apart. Good. Now exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, you're going to send your right foot back once again. High crescent lunge. And hold. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Inhale, reach your arms up. Palms meet, and on your exhale, hands to heart center. Getting into some more challenging balance now. So your inhale, bring your right knee to your hip height. And then on your exhale, you have options. You're going to hinge at your hips, and you can come into your standing stick. Now this can be done while holding a wall. You want to be about 2 feet away from the wall if that's what you're doing there. Good. And on your inhale, you're going to bring your right knee to hip height. Exhale, standing stick, or option for warrior 3. Or maybe you're holding the wall. Inhale. And exhale. 2 more times. Hopefully you're wavering and wobbling like I am. One more. Good. Then you bring your hands to the mat and you're in your standing split pose here. So another time I'm going to give you some options. So if you can, we're going to come into Shiva squat. If you're not familiar or that's not something you'd like to try today, then you're just going to bring right knee into meet the left. Inhale. And then exhale, kick your right leg back. Good. Inhale, knees meet. And exhale, right leg back. Good. If you'd like to take that Shiva squat, then you're going to inhale here. And then exhale, bend both knees and cross your right knee behind your left. Good. Inhale, standing split. Maybe your leg goes up a little higher. Exhale, Shiva squat. Inhale, reach. Last one. Exhale, Shiva squat. Good. Now inhale, reach for standing split. And then exhale, your right foot meets your left. Good. Now you're going to bend your left knee generously and you're going to straighten your right knee as straight as it goes. Good. And just hold here in your forward fold. Breathe. One more breath. Now melt your left heel down to the mat. Forward folds. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Then inhale, rise to mountain, arms overhead, palms face. And exhale, send your hips back in space, chair pose. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Now inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, your left foot goes back to that high crescent lunge now. Arms up and hold in your high crescent lunge. Really feel the stretch in the hip flexor. Now inhale, reach palms up. And exhale. And your next inhale, palms meet. Then exhale, hands to heart center. Good. Next inhale, you're going to bring your left knee to hip height. So inhale, knee to hip. And again, maybe you're holding onto a wall or something and you exhale, hinge at your hips. Remembering that wavering and wobbling is a good thing. Inhale, knee to hip. Always feel free to tap your toe down. Great example there. Exhale, hinge. Inhale, knee to hip. Exhale, hinge. 2 more times. Maybe your arms stretch out for a warrior 3 now. Inhale, knee to hip. Last time. That wavering and wobbling is so good for you. And exhale, warrior 3. Then hands to the mat. And whatever you did last time. So maybe you took that knees to meet. And kick into your back leg on your exhales. Inhale, knee to meet. Exhale, kick. Or maybe you bring this into your standing split. Inhale. And then exhale, Shiva squat. Left knee crosses behind the right. Inhale, standing split. Or you continue with the knee kicks. Last time. Now you're going to inhale and hold your standing split. And then on your exhale, bring your left foot to meet your right. And now you're going to bend your right knee generously, lift the heel, and straighten your left knee as straight as it comfortably goes. And breathe. One more breath here. Good. Now you're going to set your right heel down, forward fold. Then inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And now inhale, rise. Arms overhead. Palms meet, and then exhale, arms down by your sides. Good. So next we'll do some standing balancing poses. So I'd like you to find some firmness in both feet. Maybe you're rocking and rolling onto the fronts and backs of your feet. Really just feeling the pads of your feet everywhere. Good. Feet are about hip distance apart. We'll start with tree pose. So for your tree pose, you're going to take your right foot into either your ankle, your shin, or your thigh, wherever your tree pose is. Just making sure you're not on your knee. So we don't want to hurt your joints. We want to stay away from the knee joint for this pose. Good. And hands to heart center. And if you'd like, arms can grow and branches can sway. Good. 2 more breaths. And then if hands aren't already, hands come back to heart center. And release your right foot down. And then you're going to open and close your trunk leg, your standing leg. So your left leg, you're going to lift and open. Good. And then bring it back to close. And we'll do that 3 times. So 2 more. 2. Good. And 3. Very nice. And then firm into your feet. Once again, find those paddings of your feet. Feel that firmness. Really steady into the right foot, and your left foot's going to come to your tree. Again, ankle, shin, or thigh, just not on your knee joint. Once you find that placement, really make sure you press your leg into your foot and your foot into your leg. And remember to connect back to that pelvic floor breathing if you're having trouble with balance. Maybe this time you want to cactus your arms and bring in a slight back bend. Maybe palms stay at heart center. That's okay too. Working with your limitations. 1 more breath. Then you bring palms back to heart center. And slowly with control, you're going to release that left foot back down. And we're going to open and close the right trunk leg now. So open and close. 2 more times. Open and close. Last one. Open and close. Very nice. So next I have quite a challenging balance pose. And that is dancer pose. So I do recommend you finding a wall if you're not familiar with dancer pose. And you should be about 2 feet away from the wall. So your hand is going to come to the wall here, and I'm holding on to my altar. That's just what I have right here for you guys. Now your foot that's closest to the wall is going to be your trunk leg. So that's the leg you're firming into, standing into, is whatever leg's closest to the wall. Same hand, same leg is closest to the wall. Good. Now you're going to take your left knee, bend your left knee and foot up towards your tush, and then you're going to bring your left hand on the inside of your foot. So you want to grab your foot from the inside. This is going to create a little more shoulder opening, which is what we want from our dancer pose, okay? So we really want to make sure that those fingers are on the inside of the feet on your big toe side. Next, I want you to seal your knees together. So I'm going to turn to the front so your knees are nice and tight together. And this creates that core firming. Okay, we're really starting to activate those muscles here. Then you're going to inhale, reach your right arm up, or keep it on the wall, whatever you're doing there. Good. And then you kick into your left foot. Kick your foot into your arm until you create an opening in your shoulder. Once you feel you can no longer kick, that's when you're going to hinge at your hips. And you're either holding onto the wall, hand can move down with the wall as needed, or your hand can come straight out ahead of you if you're not holding onto the wall. And let's take 2 more breaths. Good. Now you're going to slowly bring knees back to meet with control now, and release your left leg down, arms by your sides. Let's give your knees a little wiggle, a little shake. Just pedaling legs out. Good. Now, if you're by the wall, go ahead and just turn around so that your opposite leg is next to the wall. Okay, so we're gonna do dancer pose opposite side. If your hand was on the wall last time, go ahead and keep hand on the wall for this time. Now I really like having hand on the wall because this can bring the balance a little bit out of it. You're still bringing a balance challenge to your body, but you're able to really feel the pose and what that's supposed to feel like as far as the shoulder opening and the hinging, everything like that. You can really get that down before you start to master the actual balance part of it, okay? So firm into that wall, that leg that's closest to the wall, that's your trunk leg. You're gonna bend, for me it's my right knee, I'm gonna bend my right knee. And then you're gonna grab the foot from the inside, good. And you'll inhale, kick into that foot you're grabbing onto until you can no longer kick. Once you can no longer kick, then you're gonna hinge forward. Good, wherever you are. And we really want to work to keep hips in line. So hips are both pointing downwards towards the mat. Another reason that wall is very helpful because our bodies tend to want to spin open in this pose there. And that's going to create a very challenging balance for you. So we really want to spin your hips down towards the mat. 2 more breaths. And if you ever fall out of a balancing pose, just come right back into it when you can. Last breath. And the knees come to meet. And with control, release. Great job. Now you're going to pedal your legs out once again. So those are very challenging poses, and I'll just take a moment. The reason we did our movement balancing poses first is because that's going to set your muscles up to really kick in and fire for the holding balancing challenges. So that's why we did some movement balance first and then some stillness balancing afterwards. So next, you'll find the top of your mat, and you're going to inhale, both arms go up, palms face each other. And then you'll exhale, fold forward. Now inhale, halfway lift. And you're going to exhale, send your right foot back for your low crescent lunge. So on the back knee, top of the foot rests. Now your front knee should be in line with your heel. Great job. And you'll come up as comfortable and really lean into this lunge. So maybe you need to scoot your front foot forward so that you can lean into it and really feel that hip flexor, the back hip flexor stretch, okay? And maybe it feels good for arms to go up. 2 more breaths. Good. Now you're going to take both hands to the inside of your left knee. This is lizard pose, so we're just creating a little more intense stretch. Palms can stay here, or maybe you have a block that you're resting your palms on to bring you up a little higher. That's okay too. If you need a little more intensity, then you can lower down onto your forearms for lizard. Good. 2 more breaths. Very nice. Now you'll take your hands back to planted, and then you're going to take your hands to frame your foot. So your left hand goes to the outside. Good. And now you're going to send your hips back in space and straighten your front knee. So you send it back. Now your knee doesn't have to be all the way straight, just a comfortable straightness for you. And maybe the toes lift up off the mat. Good. Then inhale, lengthen in your spine. And exhale, fold forward. You should really feel this in the back of the hamstring. We don't want to feel too much right behind the knee, but we should feel a stretch in the calf and the back of the hamstring. So if you're feeling too much in your knee and your knee's getting uncomfortable, bend your knee a little bit. We don't want to stretch the ligaments of the knee, okay? 1 more breath here. Good. Now bring yourself back to your low crescent lunge. You're going to plant both hands on the mat. Tuck your back toes under, lift your back knee, and send your left foot back now to downward facing dog. And pedal your legs out. Good. Find some stillness in your down dog. And on your next inhale, you're going to lift your right leg. Inhale, lift. And then exhale, bend your knee, open your hip. 2 breaths. Stretch your right leg back to long and then down to downward facing dog. Good. Now you're going to inhale here. And exhale, lift your left leg long behind you. Bend your knee and open your hip. Your next breath brings your leg back long. And then down to downward facing dog. Bend both knees and walk your feet up towards your hands, forward fold. Now inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. And then inhale, rise, arms overhead, palms face. And exhale, chair. Inhale in chair. Exhale, fold. Now inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, send your left foot back now to your low crescent lunge. So on the back knee. Good. And make adjustments to your foot so that you can really feel that hip flexor stretch without allowing the front knee to cross over the heel of your right leg. Good. Really breathe in. Maybe your arms lift up. Two more breaths. And now both hands come to the inside of your right foot for your lizard pose. And again, you can be here. Maybe you have your hands on top of a block to bring you up, bring the floor closer to you. Good. Or maybe if you need a little more intensity, your elbows can drop towards the mat. And breathe. Two more breaths. Great job. Now you're going to take both hands back to planted. And then frame your right foot so your right hand goes on the outside of your right foot. And then you're going to send your hips back in space and lift your front toes. Your knee goes as straight as comfortable for you. Good. Inhale, lengthen in your spine. And exhale, if it feels good, you can fold forward. Again, you want to feel this stretch in the back of the calf and the back of the hamstring. But if you're really feeling intense stretching in the back of the knee, right behind that knee, then you want to really bend your knee and create a little less of that intensity there. We don't want the stretch in the ligaments of the back of the knee. You're going to make your way back to your low crescent lunge. Plant your hands down on the mat. tuck your back toes under, lift your back knee, and send your right foot back to your downward facing dog now. Good. Feet are about hip distance. You're looking towards your ankles, and now I want you to bend your right knee generously and melt your left heel towards the mat. 2 more breaths. Good. Now you'll lower your right heel down, bend your left knee, lift the heel. Good. 2 more breaths here. Good. Now lower your heel down. Then you're going to bend both knees all the way down to the earth. And you're going to send your hips back into your child's pose. So really reaching your arms out ahead of you. Hips are headed towards the heels and your forehead towards the mat. Good. A nice active child's pose. So really pressing into the hands and breathe into the low back. Good. Now you're going to walk both your hands over to the right side and send your hips over towards your left heel. Side bend stretch here, and maybe you can reach your left hand on top of your right to create a little more intensity there. One more breath. Now you'll come back to center for 1 full breath cycle. Inhale. Press your hips towards your heels and exhale. Now you send your hands both over to the left and your hips go right. For that nice side bend. And maybe if you did so on the other side, your right hand can be on top of your left for a slightly more intense stress through the right arm. Big breath in. Two more like that. Good. Now you're going to walk hands back to the center for 1 full breath cycle. Once more. Inhale. And exhale. Then you'll walk yourself up into your tabletop position, and you'll go through about 3 cows and cats. So inhale, drop your belly, lift your head and chest. Exhale, round. Cat. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. And last time, inhale, cow. Exhale, cat. Now back to your neutral spine. Good. And then you're going to take your legs into crisscross, just crossing over and coming to a seat. Then your feet are going to be planted on the mat and your knees bent towards the ceiling. And your hands come to the back of your thighs. Good. Just a few more poses here before we rest. Inhale, lengthen your spine. And then exhale, slowly lower yourself all the way down to the mat. Using your abdomen, really working those muscles to lower each vertebra one at a time. Good. Now take both knees into your chest. Give them a nice little squeeze. And then you're going to release that squeeze and take some knee circles. So circling from the hips here. And we're going to do 5 in each direction. And that's 3, 4, and 5. Good. Now go the opposite way. 5 circles. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Bring yourself to a happy baby pose. So your feet go up towards the ceiling and you grab the insides of your feet. Now for happy baby pose, we really want to make sure your tailbone stays in contact with the mat and your upper back as well. Good. Maybe you like to rock side to side for a nice little low back massage. And then you come back to center. And now you're going to release your left leg long, but keep a hold of your right. Good. Now your knee is on the outside of your rib cage for happy baby. That's right where we want it. So you're going to leave your leg where it is, but interlace your fingers now onto your shin of your right hand. And pull your knee up towards your shoulder, towards your armpit. Then on your inhales, I want you to imagine your left side becoming longer, growing longer. And your exhales, you're going to really pull your right knee up and in. So inhale, lengthen left side body. And exhale, pull the right side in closer. One more breath. Good. Now you take your left hand on the outside of your right knee and you're going to draw your knee across your body, supine twist. Your right arm's going to go out to a T shape and you can gaze over your right fingertips if that feels okay for your neck. If that does not feel good on your neck, then you can just keep the gaze forward. And more important to keep your shoulder blades both firmly planted on the mat than it is for this leg, this foot to be touching the ground. So maybe you're here, maybe you have a prop. Again, up to you. One more breath. And you'll bring yourself back to center. Hug both knees in and rock from side to side. And you'll come back to center and then happy baby pose, feet to the ceiling. Grab the insides of your feet. And now this time we're going to go for a bow and arrow action here. So you're going to straighten your right knee as comfortable as you can and bend your left knee generously. Then switch legs, so bend your right knee generously and straighten your left leg as straight as it comfortably goes. And switch. Good. And switch legs. And right leg straight, left knee bends. 2 more times. And last one, straighten your left knee, bend your right knee generously. Good, then bring it back to your happy baby pose. And now you're going to release your right leg down long. Keep a hold of the left. And interlace your fingers so that your left knee stays on the outside of your rib cage. You're going to inhale, lengthen right side body, and exhale, pull your left knee up and in towards the left shoulder. And breathe. Now on each inhale, lengthen in the right side body. And exhales to pull your knee in closer. Two more breaths. Good. Now you'll take your right hand and you're going to grab the outside of your left knee. And your left arm goes out to that T shape. Draw your left knee across your body for a supine twist. Good. And perhaps you're gazing over your left fingertips or maybe up at the ceiling if that doesn't feel good on your neck. Two more breaths. Now you bring head and knees back to center. Bring both knees into your chest. Hug your knees and rock from side to side. Good, and you'll come back to center. Now pick your head up, curl yourself into a tight little ball. Squeeze your toes, your feet, your legs, your arms, your chest, your abs, your back. Everything squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. Furrow your face, squeeze. And your next exhale, you're going to release everything long and wide. For final Shavasana, arms go out by your sides, palms face up. Legs are wide, feet and head fall where they want, and you return to your natural breathing. Any thoughts that come in, allow them to float away like clouds drifting in the sky. And now I want you to imagine you're walking along a nature path. You feel your feet grounded against the earth. You feel the wind blowing on your skin. It's a comfortable, warm wind. You see the nature surrounding you, the trees and bushes, the birds and squirrels. You breathe in and you smell the fresh grass, the fresh dirt and tree bark surrounding you. As you look around, you see the beautiful, vibrant nature colors, the flowers and plants. You see the animals in the sky, the birds fluttering around. You can hear those animals making their noises. The birds chirping and the squirrels wrestling. You're enjoying yourself as you walk along this path. And this path leads you to a cave up ahead. The cave is emitting a nice green light. And you know this cave is safe. It is meant for you. You continue following the path to the opening of the cave. And as you peer in the cave, you notice that the cave is decorated exactly to your liking. It is as sparsely or as fully decorated with all the things you love, all the things that remind you how loved you are surrounding you. Maybe there's paintings and sculptures. Maybe there's candles or crystals. You're enjoying what you see surrounding your cave. It is filling you with sensations of love. And as you're looking around the cave, you notice people start showing up in your cave. All these people that you love and that make you feel loved. You take time to acknowledge each person. Maybe you're a little surprised by somebody who showed up. You make sure to hug each person in that cave and remind them of your love for them. You enjoy your greeting to each person. And after you've greeted each one, they slowly begin to fade away. And now that they've faded away, you notice a plush pink rug on the ground. You take a seat on this pink rug and you close your eyes and breathe. You stay right here for a few moments, acknowledging all the love you have in your life right now. And now you begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. You rock your head from side to side. Maybe you bring in a good morning full body stretch. And then you're going to roll onto one side, using your forearm as a pillow, and hug your knees in. Take a moment to give some gratitude to yourself for showing up, and to once again acknowledge that cave of love and how loved you truly are. And And then whenever you're ready, you're going to prop yourself up to a seated position with eyes closed as able. And then you'll inhale, arms overhead, palms meet. And then reverse your palms facing out now, and exhale with intention, press the air around you away. Can you feel your hands moving through the air? Does it feel like mud? Maybe you don't feel it. Maybe you can see a color. Maybe you can smell something differently. Maybe you hear your arms moving through the air. Maybe you taste something on your tongue. Connecting to each sense to see if you can feel the air moving around you. And then if you like, hands can come to heart center. Thank you all for allowing me to guide you today. I honor and appreciate the light inside of each and every one of you. Namaste. Thank you so much, Creating Calm Tribe. It really has been my pleasure to lead you through these yoga classes, and I hope that they can bring you much joy and whatever it is you're needing into your life. Thank you again, and I hope to see you all soon. Bye now.